Broadcasting live from the backstretch at Saratoga, this is the Handicappers Report. Brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Handicappers Report alongside Seth Merrow. I am Anthony Mormino. My first thought on the day, Seth, is we can't seem to get any in-between days. We either have glorious days,
I think you nailed it,
or we have rain.
Yeah. And it's kind of one of those soakers, just a drizzling.
Oh, this could be,
yeah. And I think it's been going for a while, so we'll have to check track conditions.
I mean, as I was coming, coming up the Northway, it was like the rain hit started in Clifton Park, and that's what over the years, and I mean many years now, particularly doing this job, that there's not really a correlation between the Capital District and Saratoga. There doesn't seem to be a correlation between Boston Spa and Saratoga, or at least the kind that you can really feel confident that it's the same. So today, as always, pay attention to the network. I the opener, I kind of highlighted it that now we have the 2-year-olds back going a mile and a 16th, the New York breds, because after almost 30 years, we shortened up to a mile for some races. And it's, to think of it, there really hasn't been any moments of hold your breath on the first turn with the mile races with the babies. But the opener at this time, doing Handicappers Report, remember the 2-year-old races are shortened up to 7/8, not a mile, but 7/8 for the 2-year-olds. And, Seth said a soaker. I didn't really look on, not that I trust.
I think starting tomorrow, it's supposed to turn and be really nice for the weekend. So I think this is a day thing, 1 day kind of thing.
It's raining till 2 a.m.
Well, so it is a soaker.
I mean, so there's
literally.
If the Apple Weather app is accurate, you can certainly expect to see races taken off of the turf. Just a guess on my part, but not counting the. By the way, it should be noted that I handicapped the steeplechase race using flat features, and we had a winner. It's probably the first time ever I've got the jump and the feature right. My main squeeze looked like, 1 to 2 might have been a good price on her.
I'm getting a signal from off stage. Okay.
Am I not in the loop? I'm on the Pay Me
I
No Line
I
list?
thought I was getting a signal, but
okay.
I'm being told no.
Okay. So my main squeeze went to the front and improved her position. I did think it's ironic, and I don't.
I kicked myself because I like my main squeeze so much, but I thought
kick
Sterling
yourself
Silver
at
maybe
$4.30.
just had it.
Never kick yourself at $4.30.
No, but
you have other venues that you need the win. I understand.
Yeah, Sterling Silver, I thought had maybe a little bit of an edge, but my main squeeze has been, facing open companies in New York bred and doing well. So got back in against the New York breds and looked good.
One thing that I was, just thinking about yesterday, and I never met him, but everybody said Bruce Johnson was a terrific man. But I think it's ironic that I don't know how many New York breds have won an Eclipse Award, but that's kind of rough taking Saratoga Dew, her name off the thing. Is she the only one? Was she the first one? Is she the only one? I don't remember. But for a New York bred to win an Eclipse Award, that's pretty good. Yeah. And she got her name kicked to the curb pretty good. But good job by my main squeeze, who really, boy, if you ever wanted to see what you thought a jockey and a horse while running a race was confident, that was the race. I mean, I thought it was relatively good internal fractions, and she was just like, this is nothing compared to what I've been faced to. And she was home.
And I will say, if you were watching the races or if you were here, Corruption was a nice winner for Mark Cassey. And then, with the heat and humidity yesterday, kind of was affected clearly by the heat right outside the winner's circle. And I didn't see Mark. I don't think Mark was at the track. He tweeted later. But the horse was obviously in distress. And, other horsemen, it just shows, what goes on here at the track and how much they care for this. Miguel Clement and his team, Cassey team was out there when there were hoses and there was ice. But Miguel Clement jumped into the mix with his team. And the jockeys, this was 10 minutes after the race was over, and they got to get ready for another race. And Kendrick Carmouche was out there, Dylan Davis, the two Ortiz brothers. There was a truck with some ice. They were ferrying ice back and forth and cooling off. And it took a few minutes with the hoses and the ice, but the horse eventually kind of
I think it surprises people how the horses react when they, come back to better health. I think they're just like, wow.
Yeah,
almost like it's a comedy routine.
Eventually, they walked him down, and Mark tweeted out later. Mark Cassey said, the horse got back and that the barn was fine. But folks were watching. That was the outcome that Mark tweeted. Not the outcome we were all hoping for, but it was, as I say, it was nice to see everybody kind of pitching in when the horse was in some distress.
And so, story ends well. We'll see how it goes. V Cruiser. As I went through that race, and I'm like, the race is 7 deep, and it was just the fans got it right. Basically, cut the morning line in half, and no, it's not correct. It would have been $22. They did bet, but 5 winning favorites yesterday from the fans. And as I said, they have a good record.
One of them being my dark horse play of the day, which was a little bit. Somehow I have had an uncanny knack for finding horses that are going to drop notably. And this is not a CAW thing. The horse opened up at kind of a short price. But I had Marianne Barker and Maddie Zanetti in here yesterday from Dark Horse and Impression. So they were the lucky charm to get me back going with Snowface Princess in the 6th. But from a 6-1 morning line, $7.30 is the favorite. I was happy with the win. I was a little bit disappointed with the price.
Well, it's not quite a price where you say they knew. 5-2 is not a they knew moment. I was trying to think, was that? I usually make a note. She was not a firster, so she had the veteran experience over them, and that. I'm a big believer in that. A big believer. I think, I make notes all the time that. Whether you're the only vet or firsters, but boy, so much goes on in a race that's generally different than working out. It's like that race under the belt is good. So we'll see. I just couldn't get over it. I was actually intensely watching the jump because, as I said yesterday, I have an opinion. The one race over the flat, the old giddy up, but into a 2L, which was, a reasonable place to be in. Cha-ching. So
yeah, no. Gotta handicap the jump races.
You do. But for me, there was something I could apply my flat racing to it. It's I don't know. That's like a strong angle. Even I know that one. It's but it was also the classification. It was they put him in the right spot. It's sometimes these maiden claimers winning on the dirt. They'll try other things, but then about 3 races later, you see him 25 2L, and you're like, yeah, that's kind of put the red flare pen through the 2 allowance races and see if we get going.
Nice payoff in the pick 6 yesterday with the carryover, and that was helped by V Cruiser at $18 and Kigali at 21. That Kigali V Cruiser I had in my mix and helped me get a horizontal play early in the day. Kigali I didn't use. But what did you have? You had $350, $18, $7.30. So $350 was a favorite, $18, of course not. $7.30 was a favorite, Snowface Princess. Kigali, $21. My main squeeze favorite at $4 and change. And Kyla's Cause wound things up at a short $3.90 is the favorite. You got $4,500 with the carryover in the pick 6.
One of the things I assume, if you're playing the pick 6 or even the late pick 5, with the back end 2 being reliable thoughts to not going deep in those races. The Cruiser is not hard to come up with, because if I was of the opinion ahead of time that was a race that you have to go deep, and smaller players, if you have two solid opinions on the back end and you're thinking about it as a pick 3, it's a little more reasonable. But the point I'm making was the V Cruiser race was one of the ones you had to go deep. I felt ahead of time.
Well, I had V Cruiser in the 3rd spot, and then the pick play, I forget where it was, the middle pick 4, where I hit horizontal with V Cruiser. And I had the 3rd spot, so I didn't go that deep in that race. I was 3 deep in that race.
Wow,
that's with the $18 horse.
I think
Kigali, I
didn't he run like 10 days ago? He's one of the quicker turnarounds. And on tomorrow's card, we have some unbelievably quick turnarounds. Too many days, but I think Film Star is back in after beating Arthur's Ride the other day, and he's not the only one. As I said,
sometimes
they're going to scratch out.
Yeah, you wonder if the entries are kind of overlapping the run, and
I didn't count them in, but I said to you the other day, I don't know the number I used exactly, but I'll redo it. There's going to be more horses winning races off 200+ day layoffs than to win under 14 days. It's just how radical, which is completely the opposite of our first 15, 20, 25 years
people don't remember,
of the game.
The one that gets me, Derby time is the Derby. The Wood Memorial was a couple weeks before the Kentucky Derby.
How about into the late 80s, maybe early 90s, the Bluegrass 9 days? I know Ali Sheba ran in the Bluegrass, got disqualified 9 days before winning the Kentucky Derby. 9 days.
People talk
in the
about
color TV era. I like to let young people know.
I remember our first color TV.
So do I.
Yeah. Which was
they would have no idea what that was like to show up in your living room. And trust me, there was only one. I didn't know a single house that had 2 color TVs when I was a boy.
That came on. Bewitched, brought to you in color.
Color, yeah. But you know what? The same thing happened, Seth. I'll give you a great example. Same thing happened 30 years later with HD. People don't believe this, but CBS Sports, the NFL, they did not have a full complement of HD, what do they call, crews? Because they would list on Sunday for the next Sunday, they had about half of the games at HD. I'll give you another one. The Panthers Patriots Super Bowl was, I think, the first one that had HD, but I think our local affiliate Channel 6 had the game. They were getting so many calls because we were not getting the HD feed. So color TV, 1968 to 72, HD TV 2002. So, and the 30-year-olds are out there going, what? What is it with these two?
Get off my lawn.
I think we're ready for the DePaula play of the day.
I think so.
All right. What 360?
And they're off. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford right now at the DePaula Auto Group. Take off the savings you need on the vehicle that you want. New cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and all electric. Delivered with DePaula savings. And the DePaula Auto Group has hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Remember, DePaula can service any make and model and has over 100 service bays. So buy DePaula. Think DePaula for all of your automotive needs. DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, Ford, and pre-owned. DePaula.com.
Hey, everybody. Steve Bick back with you for the Thursday DePaula play of the day. We're going to be threatened by weather. So my inclination was to find a horse that would stay in a race should it come off the turf. And I think we've got one. Broadway Lights from Mike Maker. And this is a stretch out on the turf. But if he happens to come off the grass, he'll stay in because he's got plenty of main track races that would work. Flavian Pratt climbs aboard 10-1 on the 4 Broadway Lights, and should be forward either way. And I'm going to trust in Maker and Pratt at that price. Broadway Lights, 10-1 in the nightcap. Best of luck. Should be a great Hall of Fame day and a great Whitney day. Back with you on Sunday for more DePaula Play of the Day here on Capital OTV.
And they're off. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford right now at the DePaula Auto Group. Take off the savings you need on the vehicle that you want. New cars, trucks, SUVs, hybrids, and all electric. Delivered with DePaula savings. And the DePaula Auto Group has hundreds of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Remember, DePaula can service any make and model and has over 100 service bays. So buy DePaula. Think DePaula for all of your automotive needs. DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, Ford, and pre-owned. DePaula.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and our good friend Mark Henning, who I trust whatever the highest degree. We're off the turf, which you could guess for multiple reasons today. The juveniles will shorten up to 7 furlongs. The 5.5s will stay at 5.5. And at the back end of the day, it'll be a mile, which Seth said it best. It looks like a soaker. It's acting like a soaker. Thus, it must be a soaker. So, and
it walks like a duck.
Right, that's the line. And it's a Thursday, and that's just how it's going to be. We're nearing, I don't know, maybe Saturday.
Some people really like these off the turf days.
I told you how good the fans are. I mean, it's just the betting fans. It's just anecdotal for me, but it's not like favorites go down to 20%. I actually think they get a bump up to about 40 from that 33% point of reference. I'm going to say this. I would make a small wager. There's a better chance it goes up to 40 than it goes down to 20 with this variable. Now, I said before, you have much shorter fields, generally speaking. So there's a little asterisk next to it. But the bare facts are the fans do a great job of betting on off-the-turf races. And, we had the race the other day. And I don't know how often it happens. I'm not going back to look it up. That nobody from the main body stayed.
That stood out to me as unusual.
That and the other thing I saw once, and I'm sure it's happened before, and this is years ago. It might have been I don't even know if you were doing the daily, but the number 10 saddlecloth had the number 1 post position. So, but we're off the turf today. We have some horses working out, more horses than I usually see working out, but we're off the turf. So the opener will shorten up to 7/8. New York State bred 2-year-olds.
I pretty much have it the same. I pulled the MTO down at the bottom of my list because I didn't think the debut jumped off the page on the dirt. So I'm 5, 8, 3, and 1. And if I can see some of those scratching. If they do, then I'm going to pull the MTO in the number 9.
Right.
But Honoree goes out for Shug with some win early breeding, and they did debut on the dirt, and it wasn't much.
One quick thing: you're comfortable with your picks, right?
Yeah,
I'm comfortable too. If you want to put them up,
bring them up. Yeah.
I know you guys are very protective, and I appreciate that. But if you want to put them up, you can feel free. I'm good.
So the debut on the dirt wasn't much, but did have maybe some trouble there to consider. More importantly for me, there is some real win early breeding there. This is a sibling to Vergara, third in debut, won the next 2. Flat Meadow, second, fourth start. Killshade Beauty won the debut. Bullseye Beauty won the debut. Bullseye Bun won the debut. So there was plenty of win early here. If they elect to stick in, I'll stick with Honoree on top. Second spot, stick up without a gun. My Magic Wand was a sibling, 5th in debut, and then won the next 3 career starts. McKinsey, good sire of win early types. Now, all of that said, Ken McPeak typically wants a race, but he can win in debut. This one has a nice gate work coming into this, and then minor inconvenience in the 3rd spot. Took action in the debut, and then, again, didn't offer up much. That was on the turf. Might be interesting if they elect to stay in. This is one I would think probably goes to the sidelines. But again, if they stay in, I'll stick. 5, 8, 3, and 1, and the 9 worth a look, the MTO, if others scratch.
This is once again perfect. We have 6 of the 8 of the main body covered. And I have to tell you, I wouldn't be afraid of the 9. Now, the question I would have, Seth, is the 9 doesn't need any people to come in. The 9 is in the race if he wants, because it's 7 ace. And I think even with juveniles, we take at least 10, 12, 14. So I have, a couple horses here, the 3 and the 5 that Seth have. Like, they have poor debut races, but I think this kind of this benefits them. Like the 5, it was an off the turfer, but it was a fast racetrack. Now the Code of Honor horse, right? Code of Honor, didn't he run? Got put up to second in the mud in the Derby a couple of years ago. Okay, it's going to be Caroline Street Beat, right? They're not going to say Saint. It's going to be Caroline.
Oh, yeah. No, so, Caroline's got to be Caroline Street. I would think. But
what's the beat for?
Yeah. I have no idea.
But I've known one of the owners for 40 years and saw him Sunday night at dinner. Got a chance to speak to him. Had a couple good horses. I'm 146, going 7 ace. I'm a Tis the Law from down inside. And one of the parameters that I like is if these connections choose to go, I'm good with it. Now, if they know Honoree can't run on the wet after that race, I'm sure they'd scratch out, wait for a 2-turn race. But they're going to help me. The Obliterator, the MTO, I'm not afraid of him. He fits it in the mix. But Caroline Street Beat on top, if they go, that's a great sign for me. And I know that sounds silly, but I think that 'Tis the Law. They'd be like, no, we can do this. Twirling Lad, the 4, though, really scares me in this race to better this rating. This is a Twirling Candy, Pioneer of the Nile. If Horatio De Paz chooses to stay in, I'm very scared of Twirling Lad. And then I have Wazy's Charm going out for the first time. But Verbiden, Curlin, Giants Causeway. How about you mentioned your second pick, Trap Shot on the bottom, McKenzie. I think this race will be minorly affected by scratches.
Yeah, I agree. Second race today, again, scheduled on the grass, but we move to the main track. Distance stays the same in this restricted maiden special event. And as I was reading the conditions the other night, I was handicapping, I found it interesting that New York bred condition I didn't see
dropped
there. I wonder if the $1 million horse.
And I wonder if this is one time I wish I had a condition book.
It could be. Sometimes it's not.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I found it intriguing though. But
and the people that follow, there are people that follow the conditions and the condition book very closely. If somebody just tweets it out, that'd be great to know if this was changed. Now, the problem for me in this race isn't so much that I'm afraid of my picks, but we have 3 also eligibles, 3 MTOs, and Jeff Carl is the one that told me about this one, Seth. We have no idea how many horses entered this race. They cap it at 16, but 42 horses could have wanted to get in here. But this is it. So literally there's 16 horses. I don't know in the main body. In the main body, I don't think they're going to get many defections, Seth. So I don't think the AEs or the MTOs, and the MTOs are also entered into tomorrow, so they might not. Very confusing for me. I wish I could help more. I am 10, 6, and 4, and I'm comfortable with those. I'm looking for the 'Tis the Law early daily double off the turf. You don't get to say that often. But Melody getting sent out this runner. Vineyard Haven was a sprint specialist. This is going back 10 years, 14 years ago. I think, did Bobby Frankel own Vineyard Haven? I don't remember. All right, but 'Tis the Law. It's a good sign to me, because if they don't like my top pick, they're going to scratch out. But if they let them run, or in this case, let her run, I'm all for it. Great Actress, number 6 is my second pick. Greg Sacco's runner was very good on debut at 10-1, and then Devilish Grin for third, 10-6-4. And I just saw See the Stars here. Did you see the Sussex Stakes yesterday?
I did not, but we were debating yesterday about how many 80-1s. I guess the 80-1 or more works over there.
I think
I didn't watch the replay, but I read about it.
Is no longer the point of reference, but Kurak was 150 to 1. He was the stablemate. He was the junior varsity wearing the wrong color cap for identification. But not only that, Serengeti hit the snooze button at the start. He's supposed to be a pace setter. It was so oddly run. So he's lagging. Then he goes up to sprint and to chase and to pressure Kurak. Field of Gold had nothing. And at 150 to 1, won a Group 1 race. And they were trying to check out if that's a record. And I think by this morning, they've just about confirmed it's a record.
Yeah.
So Archon is no longer the high water mark.
And again, I kept mine the same because I don't know about the main track onlys. Now, if they get in, you have to take a look at them. But I stuck with mine 4, 8, 2, 11, and 10. Devilish Grin on top. The lone racing sibling was called Candle. And was 5th and 6th and 1 in the third career start. This one was pretty good looking in debut. If they stick, I'll stick. Second slot, we'll go with Oscar's Encore. There was a sibling called Drumroll, still is debut winner, 5.5 furlongs on the synthetic, however. But if they stick, I will use that one as well. Kerry Bryan has Dolce Vino. Classy Partner, a sibling, won the career debut. This one ran okay on the dirt in debut. Valhalla, if that one escapes from the AE list and stays in, being by Vacoma. Now, the siblings were not necessarily win early, but with Vacoma, I could not ignore that one. So 4, 8, 2, and 11. 11 doesn't get in. Take a look at the 10. And you mentioned things we talked about yesterday, the Sussex being one. We talked about the Steve Cawthon Sports Illustrated cover. And, I said Affirm Silks, and you mentioned green and yellow. And I was seeing both in my head. I looked it up. They're both right. The Affirm Silks were his Sportsman of the Year cover. And then there was just a cover kind of celebrating his good season.
Oh,
that was the green and yellow. Yeah,
Sigmund and Vols. I was like, that was it'll never be like that again. I mean, it came close when Antley won like 60 days in a row years ago. Well, I want to make a quick note to our audience. If you're coming to the track today, dress warmly.
Yeah, no, it's a nippy.
It's a nip in the air. On to the third.
Comparatively speaking, it's freezing, but
I mean, yes, relative to last day of July.
Yesterday.
6.5.
It's comfortable, but a little
cool.
I
mean, you don't come in flip-flops and shorts and a T-shirt. You might be headed to one area you can spend cash, the gift shop. Claimers, Phillies going 6.5 in the third.
7, 4, 2, and 5. Lady Orient on top for me. Tommy Amos runner. I just think pretty consistently has better numbers than at least most of these. And I'm saying consistent numbers. Now, tossed in a little bit of a lower number last time. That has to be a concern, and they dropped down the claiming ladder. So putting those two together, again, a little bit of a concern. But I'll land there tepidly. Second spot, D's a rock. Steps out of some allowance company, albeit up at Finger Lakes. But the Finger Lakes shippers, some of them have done okay so far. This one has some races that were okay on the New York circuit, the Niver circuit, and the allowance races up at Finger Lakes, 3 straight wins. So I think this one comes in good form. Sassy Shenanigans in the third spot, claimed last time and claimed away from Mike Maker. Trainer overall, a relatively limited number of starts, and as we approach August, is doing pretty well overall. Numbers on the claim are a little light. Sample size, so I don't know whether we can decide too much there. But again, I think the horse fits at the level and makes sense. 7, 4, 2, and 5.
Do you remember the Merrow, the 4?
No.
Might have received the lowest buyer speed figure for winning a dirt grade 1 race ever.
Sutra.
The Frizette. And
what was the number?
A 70 to win a dirt grade 1. And I'll tell you what, if you get some time in between your second show and walking over there in case there are no carts flying by to help you out. Look her up on Equibase. I mean, and I'm telling you, wait till you see the ownership also. But when I went back to look it up, I actually thought my memory said she got a 58 for winning the Frizette. And when I saw the 70, I was like, that might have been one of those revisited ones because they were literally laughing at the moment she went under the finish line for it. So I'm 3-4-7 here. You know, we have it very similar, but Brendan Walsh sends out the 3. Coming out of a 2-turn race over at Horseshoe, Indiana. It was an off the turf, so winning by 10. I don't know what was, behind her. It might have been nothing, etc. But I like the shortening up. I like getting back to getting to dirt where this horse ran on a good turf course, good dirt course. And this I feel very confident saying there is going to be moisture in the racetrack. And then Lady Orient, is 5-2 here and second time in for a third time, but drops way down from 100 to 32. So 3-4-7.
Just before we head to the break, let me alert you that coming up top of the hour, it's Racing Across America, regular visit from the Daily Racing Forum, Mike Welch this week. We'll do a little preview and review with Mike. Flavien Prat will join us as well. Caught up with him yesterday and got him plugged in for the show this afternoon. We'll do some preview and review with him as well. He has some nice runners coming up over the next few days in stakes action. He had a couple of monsters out at Del Mar over the weekend that we'll hit on as well. And then Kevin Cox, Brooklyn Cowboy, do a little handicapping with Kevin as well. All of that at 10 a.m.
One of the interesting things is that we both love sports. And I said this to Terry Finley 2 years ago. Flavien Prat goes to work every day. And he has to know his best horse is behind him. That you're never going – you're going to come to work every day knowing that the best is behind you. I've talked to athletes like always, anybody who is great at something. And you have to realize, I said this once to Javier, with Ghost Zapper. I said, you just have to know in your heart of hearts. I said to Terry, you're never going to own a better horse than this.
But the flip side of that is,
Terry told me they have 8 in the sale.
I have Flightline's lifetime PPs here. The flip side is for Terry and for Flavien Prat, you had that horse.
That's what
you could, you.
And I've told people because horse racing Twitter's been taking shots at Flightline. You can't win all of those races like that, backhanding everybody. I said this because I was at my niece's wedding for the Pacific Classic. Country Grammar won the Dubai World Cup. When Secretary won the Belmont by 31, Twice a Prince was a plater. He beat Country Grammar by the length of the stretch. He beat Life is Good by the life of the stretch. I've never seen anything like it. He always showed up and crushed Quality Fields and never looked like he was trying. Good luck.
Last 2 buyers, 121 in the Breeders' Cup Classic, 126 in the Pacific Classic.
But like I said, he never looked like he was trying.
Yeah.
His Pacific Classic looked like he was working out in 12s. We'll be right back.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
The only thing better than watching the races is watching your own racehorse. With nearly 20 years experience in the racing industry, Bonaventure Stables' share-based ownership program enables everyday fans to become part owner of a thoroughbred for far less than you might think, with all the ownership perks at Saratoga, Belmont, Aqueduct, and other great tracks. Experience the thrill and lifestyle of owning your own thoroughbred racehorse. Learn more at bonaventurestables.com.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report. Seth, Merrow, and Anthony Mormino on a rainy Thursday morning. And again, it is a little bit brisk out here, and certainly comparatively speaking it is. But, I mean, it's comfortably cool. Let's put it that way. You said it best. If you're coming up, you want to.
It feels like late October. I mean, that's, I'm a guy who's warm all the time. This is, what? Hey.
All the races are off the turf, so keep that in mind as well. But the upcoming race we're going to look at is race number 4. That was scheduled for the main track, and in fact, the one-turn mile, $17,000 $17,500 conditional claimers.
Now, what intrigues me about this race is Caroline Smoke Show, who was 4-5. I like my top pick, and I think more people are going to look at 3-4-1 Sail Away a little bit off of that race 2 races back down at Delaware, where we had a winner off of a Delaware race at Saratoga yesterday. Sail Away, 2 races back, going 2 turns at Delaware, made every pole a winning one as the 5-2 favorite. That was first-time blinkers. Caroline Smoke Show, who's odds on here for Whit Beckman, comes off of a second-place finish in the slop, stretches out. Offspring of Audible, who's having very good luck, good results. And part of the entry, scheduled to break for the number 2 post position, Handle on You, Rudy Rodriguez, and Flavor Flay, who will be here in about an hour.
Flavor Flay, 7-4, 3-2 for me, and the 7 is my dark horse play of the day. And again, thanks to Marianne Barker and Maddie Zinetti for stopping by yesterday. Displayed some of the merchandise you can see downtown, impressions of Dark Horse. Again, both on Broadway, about a block and a half apart. But you can see the merchandise for yourself. If you swing on by, highly recommended. But they came in as Lucky Charms, and we got it done yesterday. As I noted, the 6-1 morning line kind of evaporated, but we still got the winner yesterday with Snowface Princess. We'll see if we can do it today with number 7, Spirit of Esther. Talked about it a number of times already at the meet and plenty of times over the years. I really like this move. State bred allowance into an open claimer, open conditional claimer, even better. From the 7 posts, you're right at the outside of the posts that have been a little bit productive going the one-turn mile. You get outside the 7, I would have been.
Did David ever go to post like 0 for 54 or something?
I think, yeah.
It's.
And I let me revise that. We're at the 8, but I'm hoping that, with the weather, maybe we lose something and get even a little closer. But with that class move, I'm going to jump on this one at 5-1 on the morning line. And this one, I think we will hold the decent odds because, Carolina Smoke Show is going to take some action. Sail Away will take some action. But Spirit of Esther with the class move, turf to dirt, cut back in distance. I think there are things to like that kind of say this horse could be a player in here. Again, at a decent little price. Carolina Smoke Show is logical on the class drop, albeit it's a little bit of a class drop that makes you kind of, I'm maybe a little bit concerned. A little more palatable drop is Sail Away. Carolina Smoke Show going 50 to 17.5. Sail Away going at half the price, 35 to 17.5. So as I say, a little more palatable maybe. But for me, in the 4th, it's the dark horse play of the day. Race number 4, horse number 7, Spirit of Esther, and overall 7-4, 3-2.
From Bull Durham, if we win again tomorrow, that's 2 in a row. If we win after that, it's a winning streak.
That's right.
On to the 5th. Please remember, we are off the turf today. The juvenile races shorten up to 7A's, 2-year-old New York State bred fillies.
Yet another one where I kept it to saying there weren't any MTOs. So I have a 2, 1 and 3, 5, and 3. Roseburn's Dream. There's a sibling called Bernie and the Rose, 3rd in debut, won the next 4 starts. Another sibling called Bernie Takes Charge, won 2 of the first 4 starts. Always Dreaming. Okay with first-time starters. There's a couple of good workouts. The June 26th was a bullet out of the gate. So at 15-1, Roseburn's Dream, very interesting to me. Maria Callas and My Divine One going out for Bill Mott and Chad Brown, but have common ownership. They're both first-time starters. They both have a little bit of breeding. They both have connections that can win early. So I put that in the mix at 7-5, taking the action on the morning line. And Miss Magical for George Weaver, who, again, having a very good meet so far. Off the debut second back on Belmont Stakes weekend, came back on July 4th and tried the Schuylerville. Ran fourth, had a little trouble, gets back into the more proper maiden special company today and might wind up being the one to beat. 2, the 1 entry, 5 and 3.
I'm 4, 1A7. I'm very intrigued to see who stays in. There's 3 offsprings of Twirling Candy in here. 2 of them have grandsires on the bottom side. One is Giant's Causeway. The other one's Galileo. So I'll be intrigued to see if they stay. I mean, Giant's Causeway was awesome in his dirt race. And Galileo, it was better than you would think by the final running position. But Ryan Elizabeth is one of the Twirling Candies that I have on top for Amelia Green. So 4, 1A7.
6 race this afternoon. We are looking at State Bred Maiden Specials, 3/4 of a mile.
Boy, I tell you, I was amped up for this race. I'm 6, 7, 4, and I'm more so now with the moisture in the racetrack. 15-1 on the morning line. Monmouth Park works. I've talked about, the horses from Monmouth Park, different barns. I talked about it, but I'm not worried. Talked about Spicetown as a stallion. Now he's a stallion of stallions. It's a Central Banker, Munnings, and Spicer. This is an offspring of Central Banker with Into Mischief on the bottom side. Big Hello Nora, first-time starter by Audible. And then Avery's Wonderland. Richard Dutro Jr. sends out the offspring of Omaha Beach. I thought this race, you have a bunch of first-time starters, but boy, Bank Street at a big price has my attention.
9, 8, 10, and 7 for me. Grazie on top. Modernist, fairly new on the scene, but a couple of first-out winners amongst 10 starters. Drexel Hill on the bottom side, the dam Bruce Drexel Hill, 5th and a couple of seconds and a win in the 4th start. Regale, 5th and 4th when one starts 3 and 4. Those both rank as win early for me, and Todd Fletcher can certainly have them ready as well. So I'll put the 9 on top. Second spot, Run on States by Yaupan. Yaupan doing very, very well with it. When I wrote my stats down, 21 first-time starters, 6 wins, 6 seconds. So good numbers. Dam's first full to race, but the Dam herself won her lone career start. And then Tut Hill Town, sibling called Tusk, won in the 3rd career start. I thought there was a little bit of something there. So for me in the 6th, 9, 8, 10, and 7.
All right, take a quick break. When we come back, the last pick 4.
It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor, from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
You like free money? Well, Capital OTB gives its players plenty of opportunities to cash in. At Capital OTB, there are so many ways for horse players to receive bonus dollars by simply participating in promotions such as our bankrolls, bounty bets, online handicapping contests, and much, much more. Plus, with Capital OTB's Player Rewards program, you get actual cash back. So what are you waiting for? Log on today at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com and claim your free money.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Whoops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Welcome back. We are off the turf all day today. Race 7, 5.5 on the dirt.
6, 5, 8, 9. I thought the 4 was perhaps a little. Oh, scratch that. Those were my turf picks. Let me give you the dirt side of things here. 11, the 1 entry, 10, and 8. Number 11 is an MTO. Geez, Eloise. Comes in off a win last time on a sloppy track right here at Saratoga. It was out for Linda Rice. She has been very clever spotting these MTOs, and I think this could be another one of those, as well as the 1A Elegant. I have the plain one. That one's in the body of the field. But I think both of these will stick in and be okay with the surface switch. And then in the third spot, another MTO, City Blocks, coming in off a nice second-place finish last time on the main track, albeit a dry main track. But they're going to get the surface they want. 11, the 1 entry, 10, and 8.
To me, play my favorite game here coming out. I think, what's funny is that you got to think, I could ask Dale that Madeline's Promise got the race she really wanted. She drew the rail. I'm thinking the 3, the 4, maybe the 6. I think definitely the 9 are coming out, right? I think that's where I would be. The 3, 4, maybe the 8, the 6, and the 9 coming out. But I think Geez Eloise for Roddy and Mary Valenti might have this race in a very attractive position coming in.
Race number 8 on this Thursday afternoon. We're looking at plain vanilla 12-5 claimers going 9 furlong.
4, 1A, and 6 for me. And just want to make a little note here. 4 going out for Linda Rice. First off the claim, the offspring of American Pharaoh, Street Cry. On the bottom, distance is where we want to be. Good early speed. Drop over. I have to think that Dylan Davis is going to have every opportunity to save ground. 4 seconds, scheduled to break for the number 9 post position. Bold Endeavor hasn't started since late April. And then Nightpole Chatterpole sends out the 6. That's Dalton Brown's mount today. I think the moisture is going to help. 4, 1A, and 6.
I have 4, the 1 entry, 3, and 7. I also have Coffray on top off a decent little second-place finish last time. A win the start before that. Claimed out of both of those, been popular with the claim box, and I think class-wise is a square fit with this group today. Bold Endeavor is the one I prefer of the entry. Comes out of a close-up second-place finish middle of April. That bodes well. And overall, this horse tosses numbers that are going to mix it up very nicely with this group. And then Royal Tryst in the third spot on the class drop that I don't think you can ignore. Should wake this horse up a little bit. And if we get to a couple of the back numbers, I think the horse is a player. Blinkers are on as well. In the 8th, 4, the 1 entry, 3, and 7.
We'll take our final break. When we come back, the last Daily Double.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 9th race feature this afternoon. The premier state bred sprint, right? It always has,
Well, this is like yesterday. They have had a mile race and a sprint race in previous years. They combined them yesterday. They combined
7. So the Union Avenue is gone for the Phillies. That was this. So the Morrissey at 7/8. And one of the good things I can say about this is 13 are entered.
Yeah.
I like that.
Absolutely. 9, 2, 12, and 13. Number 9, What You Talking About on top. Goes out for Wesley Ward. Has a bullet work. This is a nice New York bred. I always say you have a nice New York bred, plenty of options. You face the New York breds and you can go out and open company. And this one did. Back in May, won the Nehru Grade 3 event over open company. So steps back in against state breds today should be very tough. Bank Frenzy is always tough. Won the commentator last time. That was at 1.8 miles that cuts back today. And again, typically is in the hunt. And I see no reason why today won't be more of the same. Doc Sullivan in the 3rd spot. Hasn't been seen in a couple of months, few months, but on a best effort, this one belongs. But to me, that kind of goes through the top 2, 9, 2, 12, and 13.
I'm 13, 5, and 9, and I'm envisioning that Light Man with Kendrick Carmouche is going to sit a very attractive trip from the outside post position with good early speed. I think Kendrick's going to have the option to, decide for himself how he attacks this race. I'm 10-1 on the morning line. Second start of the year. The comeback race was June 13th, so that's 6+ weeks ago, and it was a solid comeback effort. Light Man, my top pick in the Morrissey. The Wine Stewart, Mike Baker's runner, boy, a terrific 3-year-old season, but only 3 starts since the Belmont. The comeback was gigantic. The last 2 against Tougher, and then What You Talking About. So 13, 5, and 9 in what I think is a terrific horse race.
And we will wrap it up today. What about 6:15, 6:19 exactly what they're aiming for. Again, they're off the turf, so we're on the dirt in this finale. Optional claimer, starter allowance.
And we'll go 1 mile with the older horses. They shorten up to 1 mile for the olders. My favorite game, I think, the 2, the 3, the plain 1, the 5, which would have been the Delaware angle, the 6. Number 7 might be breaking from the rail. I don't know about that. And the 9, the MTOs, I have an advantage, but I don't know. The always practical, I guess, is solid in here. But I think the 8 probably got the race they wanted here, and Bolt d'Oro was good on the off track, if I remember correctly. So to me, the 11, the 13, and the 8, but I think the main body is going to be scratched out of here, many of them.
I have it 1A, 13, 7, and 12. I went with Soundbite on the outside. Kind of surprised at the 8-1 morning line. I think this horse is going to be solid, getting what they want as an MTO. Second slot, we'll go with Always Practical.
Right.
Again, MTO horse from Linda Rice, so you have to take a look there. And then in the body of the field, Stamp of Approval, I think, comes off an off-the-turf win last time. So
they're staying probably.
1A, 13, 7, and 12.
Like I said, we're making conjecture at, the 9 to 10 hour. It's usually about, 11 a.m. The scratches come out, and, the surface switches. There's no turf racing today. Remember, the juvenile races shorten up to 7. The finale shortens up to 1 mile. The 2 turf sprints stay at that distance. So, which was kind of always the idea of turf sprinting, that those races wouldn't fall apart, that there'd be a lot of consistency with field size. So I think it's still raining, right? I mean,
If it is, it's barely
still
at this
chilly.
point.
It's slowed down, but Apple Weather is reporting rain throughout the day. So And we're off the turf for a 10-race card.
Let me just remind people that the Play the Board contest is the promo today.
Play the board.
Clubhouse Racebook. So
and
play the board for a little extra fun.
Already downloaded Saturday. 13, baby.
I have already handicapped
so you better
Saturday.
I was wondering why you got here 3 minutes to show time. You done with Saturday, huh? Is that
Saturday's
usually
done.
you're working?
If the PPs come out with the numbers, I don't necessarily
the final,
need the
morning line odds.
But the numbers come out,
I do it today. I've already sent in Friday. I do it today, but it's a 13 race card, so we'll go at it. But make the best of it. Like I said, if you make a big score, it's going to be a great day.
Yeah.
He stays, I go. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
This has been the Handicappers Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.